ESPN.
Look, there's certain moments in Lakers playoff history that stand out, and a lot of them are buzzer beaters.
Rondo brings in Anthony Davis, 3 for the win. He got it! No time on the clock. It's over.
Pull it back, Kobe. Switch.
It's a shot Kobe Bryant would hit. With the game on the line and the biggest moment of our season, nothing but net. It's a Mamba shot.
That is a defining moment for Anthony Davis.
Pull it back, Kobe.
Just looking down at the jersey and coach telling us it was a constant reminder that, Kobe's with us and we kind of have his spirit in those jerseys.
Anthony Davis from the left corner buries a 3, and the Lakers lead the Western Conference Finals 2-0.
From the home of the purple and gold at LA Live, this is Lakers Talk.
Here's Allen Sliwa.
Pull it back, Kobe.
What's going on, Laker fans? What is going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. What'd you guys think? Today's an off day? Because the Lakers had an off day, I was going to take a day off? Come on, guys. Have a little bit more faith in me. Have a little bit more faith. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Just finished Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. Now we'll do a little Lakers Talk right here on social. We're everywhere tonight. Tonight we're on Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know if I missed any, but that's what we got going on tonight. So I'll go about a half hour or so, hit on some topics. We are in the technology business. Look below. We got the topics right down there. We're stepping up our game, guys. We're stepping up our game. I appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, so let's do this. All right, let's kind of get straight to work here. Let's get straight to business. We all know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is Game 3 of the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets series in the Western Conference Finals. So we all know, this game tomorrow could pretty much end the series, or it might give some hope to the Denver Nuggets. So this is how I want to start off tonight's show. With talking about Anthony Davis. All right. I want to spend a little bit of time now that we had 24 hours to kind of soak it all in. Okay, AD hit a big shot. Lakers put themselves in a position now where they can, certainly take control of the series. But I just thought last night's shot from Anthony Davis, it was bigger than just a buzzer beater. It was bigger than just one guy hitting a shot in the playoffs. It was bigger than just taking a 2-0 lead in the series. And don't get me wrong, taking a 2-0 lead is humongous in the big scheme of things for the Los Angeles Lakers and what that does for, obviously their chances to get to the NBA Finals. A couple of people here want a couple fist bumps. I got you guys. You don't think I got you guys? 6 wins away from an NBA championship. What do you think? This is amateur hour? Of course I got you. But I want to spend a little time on Anthony Davis. So Stu Lance, color commentator for the Lakers since 1987, was on Lakers Talk a few minutes ago. By the way, later in the show, I got a Stu Lance story that I want to share with you guys. And Stu Lance said, big-time players hit big-time shots. You guys explain to me what is a bigger moment or a bigger spot for a big-time player like Anthony Davis to come through. But the reason why I thought yesterday was so big, let's just say hypothetically, let's say LeBron took that final shot for the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's say LeBron hits that buzzer beater, and just think about what the conversation would have been this morning and last night. You know what it would have been? Here's LeBron James. He did it again. How great is LBJ? We would have looked back and been like, remember this time when LeBron delivered in the clutch? Remember this time when LeBron James in the postseason did this? It's something that LeBron James has done before. And when we look at big picture for this Los Angeles Lakers team, big picture for this Los Angeles Lakers franchise, we know how big Anthony Davis is for the Lakers in the future. It's not just about this season for Anthony Davis. The hope is that 5 years from now, I'm still talking about AD in a Lakers uniform. 10 years from now, I'm still talking about Anthony Davis in a Lakers uniform. He's only 27 years old. So I say that was so much bigger than just a game-winning shot, even though it was remarkably big. I say it because the fact that that was Anthony Davis, a player that's the present, a player that it's supposed to be the future, that was a defining moment for AD. That was a great moment for Anthony Davis. And my hope is this for AD. My hope is that this eventually takes Anthony Davis, just his confidence level for himself mentally, takes him to another level. I mean, if the man wasn't already confident, if the guy didn't think that he was top 5 in the league, maybe even better than top 5 in the league, top 5 in the world, maybe this is one of those moments where Anthony Davis walks away and says, no. Game's on the line. I got to have the ball in my hands. I have to be the player. Lakers are depending on me, where I think it's safe to say, for the most part this season, everything has been on LeBron James's back. Everything has been on LeBron James's shoulder. But the reality is for Anthony Davis, this is his time. This is his moment. And I thought last night he took advantage of a moment where, frankly, the Lakers didn't look all that great last night. Let's not sugarcoat it. There were many moments in that game yesterday where I thought maybe the Lakers aren't going to win this game, and AD saved them. AD honestly saved them. But let's look back in Lakers history. By the way, comments coming in like crazy. Everybody slow down for a second. Can I have a second to catch my thoughts here? One of the things with Anthony Davis, and when we look back at big-time playoff moments for the Los Angeles Lakers, there are certain players that come up in the clutch. There are certain playoff moments. If I ask you guys right now, I'll ask you guys right now. Give me a moment in your history of watching Lakers basketball that sticks out to you in big-time playoff moments where a player hit a buzzer beater. Put it on there. Put it on the comments here. What moment sticks out to you? And there's a reason why I'm saying this now, because I do think that moment from Anthony Davis will be one of those moments where we say, remember when AD hit that 3 at the buzzer in Orlando, Lakers down 1. It's not like the game was tied or anything like that. Do you remember that moment? And I think every Laker fan is going to say, absolutely. That was, AD's moment. Okay, so I got some people right here. Somebody wrote 0.4. You don't have to say anything else. That's Derek Fisher against the San Antonio Spurs in 2004, the famous 0.4 shot. Somebody has on here Ron Artest. Okay, I'll tell you again what Ron Artest. Ron Artest was Game 5 against the Phoenix Suns back in 2010. Kobe shot a shot. I think Kobe airballed it. He snatched it out of the air, got the rebound, hit it, and I think that was a critical Game 5 for the Lakers. There's a moment that stands out. Robert Horry against the Sacramento Kings. I don't have to tell anybody in 2002 when Vlade Divac tipped the ball out as if he was a teammate of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Robert Horry hits that 3. So those are some of the moments that I'm talking about. I got on here Magic's obvious, his famous sky hook against the Boston Celtics. How about Jerry West back in 1970, Game 3 against the Knicks, where he hits a 60-footer to send the game in overtime? No one really talks about it because Lakers ended up losing that game in overtime. Those are the moments that we remember. How about Kobe's shot against the Phoenix Suns? Those are the moments where you make a name for yourself as one of the Laker greats. And I know all the players I just named off, they don't all have their jerseys hung up at Staples Center. But Anthony Davis, the thought process is with AD is that AD is going to be that player. I got another guy reminding me that Pau Gasol 2010 versus Oklahoma City Thunder, that put back. I think it was Game 6. Lakers end up winning that series. So some big-time moments for the Los Angeles Lakers from big-time players. Anthony Davis's moment last night, I thought, was one of those moments that not just important for the Lakers, incredibly important for Anthony Davis. I thought it was a big-time moment. I got somebody on here telling me, don't you even think about bringing up Jerry West on Lakers talk. Okay. My bad. I forgot. The guy is consulting. He's consulting for the Clippers at the moment. Shaq alley-oop dunk. So, listen, I want to, as I kind of go through and I put a stamp on what Anthony Davis, what that shot meant. I really, really think, one day in the near future, this is going to be Anthony Davis's team. One day in the near future, all the focus is going to be on Anthony Davis. And moments like that, shots like that, I think are key for Anthony Davis in the big scheme of things. But for now, just freaking get 2 more wins, beat the Denver Nuggets, go move on to the NBA Finals, go get number 17, and then we'll worry about everything else after that. Okay. All right, Laker fans, I got a question for you. So I got the camera right here, so I'm staring in. I got the comments right here on my laptop. So if I'm going back and forth, that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to make sure that I'm reading all the comments as we go here. I want to spend a little time talking about the Denver Nuggets, okay? Can you just imagine what that shot did to the Denver Nuggets? Can you just think about the effects of that loss to the Denver Nuggets? Lakers are up 2-0. So if you take all the math, listen, I'm a math guy, okay? It's a 7-game series. Lakers already have 2 of the games, which means, based on my math, Denver has to win 4 of the next 5 games. I know you guys are out there and you're saying, Allen, how does your mind work so fast? How did you just compute all that? How? Do you have a calculator in your head? Okay, so real quick. The Nuggets have to win 4 of the next 5 games to move on to the NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. All right? So I don't want to downplay the Nuggets. I really don't, because Nuggets could have made this a series yesterday. This is a demoralizing loss to the Denver Nuggets. This is a game that you actually thought you had a chance of winning. You probably should have won, and you didn't. And now you're left with 4 out of 5 games you got to beat against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Nuggets are not beating the Lakers 4 out of the next 5 games. It's just not happening. The only question it comes down to is this. Does Denver make it interesting tomorrow? Or do the Lakers take complete control of the series? Do they go up 3-0? But if you're Denver, can I just walk you through what the Denver Nuggets were going through last night? All right? What the Nuggets were going through last night, just get a couple more of these. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Did Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. That show's done, in the books. Then we come here to social. We spent some time with everybody on all our platforms. Denver was down 16 yesterday. And in their mind, they're saying, okay, we've been in this position before. They did it against the Jazz. They did it, obviously, against the Clippers, but not against the Lakers, right? Denver takes a 16-point. They're down 16. They cut it all the way down to 10. Then they're probably thinking to themselves, all right, we got a little bit of momentum going here. Then they cut it down to 6. They're probably saying, we're just a few possessions away. We're actually in this game. They get all the way down to 2, and then the Lakers go back on a run. Anthony Davis hits a 3-pointer, and I think with just over 3 minutes left, Lakers go back up by 8. And I think AD turned to Denver's bench and was like, that's it, guys. The game is over. Lights out. Denver chips back away. They come all the way back. Denver freaking takes a lead against the Lakers. And I don't know about you guys. I wasn't feeling good at the end of that game. Sitting there, 20 seconds left. Jokic hits that hook shot. I'm like, we're going to freaking lose the game. How the hell are we going to lose this game? And with 2.1 seconds left on the clock, all they had to do, first of all, was get a rebound. Danny Green got the rebound. Then all they had to do is get one stop and not have Plumlee run around. And I don't know what the hell Plumlee was doing. Jeremy Grant had his back turned to where Anthony Davis was going. And if it wasn't for Jokic coming off the inbounds play and actually even defending Anthony Davis, he pretty much would have had a clear-cut 3. AD hits a 3 and the game is over. And that's how Denver lost. Yesterday was devastating to the Denver Nuggets. That's the way I would kind of paint the picture right now with the Denver Nuggets. And listen, I said this yesterday. And I'll say it again. I give Denver a lot of credit. I think they're, the way they've been playing all playoffs, they've been relentless They're not just going to go home and go away. You gotta bury the Nuggets. They're not going to bury themselves. So I give them all the credit in the world. They're not winning 4 of the next 5 games. They're just not against the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think the question now just comes down to this. Does it come down to, do you think Denver makes this a series? Or is this series tomorrow over? Because if Lakers go up 3-0 tomorrow, the series is over. If Denver wins tomorrow, then they start making it a little bit more interesting. They start making it a little bit more of a series. You could feel free to comment on here and let me know your thoughts. Tomorrow's a tough game. Let me say that. Stu Lance said that he thinks tomorrow will be incredibly tough, and Denver's gonna come out ready to go. Denver's gonna come out swinging. I got everybody on our social platforms on YouTube pretty much saying that, yeah, this is over. They got everybody saying that this one's over. I got people saying sweep. Good thing Laker fans aren't cocky at all. Good thing that they're not overconfident. By the way, I'm very curious to see how tomorrow plays out. But I will tell you, I don't expect a blowout tomorrow. I don't expect Lakers to go up 15, 16 points. I expect a dogfight tomorrow. I feel like the Denver Nuggets are going to come to play. I don't think O.C. O'Neal says Denver will bring it. I got a couple other people chiming in. We don't need game 3. It isn't over until it's over. You know, I got all those comments starting to come in. But I say that because I think when you got a team down 2-0, and they built some confidence in game 2, even though they were heartbroken with Anthony Davis's shot. I feel like a team like the Denver Nuggets, they'll come out with the right mindset tomorrow. Mike Malone will have them in the right mindset. And then it's just up to the Lakers. It's going to come down to this with the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're the team that comes out desperate tomorrow, if you're the team tonight and tomorrow saying, no, this isn't going to be a series. We come out, when we have opportunities like this, we bury teams. Similar to how the Lakers did it against Portland up 2-1. They came out in game 4, buried the Portland Trailblazers. Series was over after that. They went up 3-1. They did it against the Houston Rockets. That's a tough game tomorrow, I think, for the Lakers. I actually expect a kind of a dogfight. I wouldn't be surprised if Lakers are the ones having to come back during the game. I expect a challenging game from the Denver Nuggets tomorrow. So that's what I see. Being up 2-0, feel damn good. Enjoy it. Boston is down 2-1, and no one is counting them out. Good point. We played bad and still won. We'll play better tomorrow. So I got a lot of people chiming in on a few different fronts on that. On the playing poorly front, let me say this: Lakers do got to play better. You know, one of the things Lakers do drives me crazy, and I'm sure that the Laker fans feel the same way. I feel like sometimes Lakers just get bored. I feel like they're playing with their food, right? They're just kind of sitting back and they're like, okay, we got this. We're fine. You know, we'll turn it on when we feel like it. That's dangerous. But then again, it's a team that's 10-2 in the postseason. I think something along those lines. One thing that I kind of caution is you never want to prolong a series. You never know what the hell can happen. And certainly I don't think the Lakers should play around with the Denver Nuggets. I think they're going to win the series, but if you can avoid going 6 or 7 games, why don't you avoid doing it? 24 turnovers for the Lakers yesterday. They also got to be much better with the ball. And yesterday in the post-game show, I didn't talk too much about it because we won and it was a buzzer beater and everything else. But you still got to stay on top of your game and respect your opponent. Okay. Let's keep moving on here. I mentioned for the most part the series being over. I mentioned that I do feel like the Lakers team, when you're up 2-0, you're not going to lose 4 out of the next 5 games. So I do genuinely feel like the series is over. But you got to finish it. You got to close it out. When I say you don't want to prolong a series, a team can get hot. What if you freaking get an injury? If you can avoid getting 6 games in or something like that, get rid of a team when you can, and maybe you can kick back and wait while Boston and Miami, go a longer series. Okay. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This is Lakers Talk. And we're doing this on all our social platforms. I appreciate you being a part of the show. You could follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Allen Sliwa. You can follow me on YouTube, Lakers Talk with Allen Sliwa. Subscribe on the channel. I just did a 2-hour show on 710 ESPN. Had Stu Lance on, had Chris McGee, who does the pre and post for Spectrum Sportsnet, Anthony Slater of The Athletic. If you missed any part of that show, you can catch the entire show on the ESPN app or on iTunes. Just type in Lakers Talk. For those who are new, we do something called roll call. Roll call is very simple. Roll call is you tell me where you're tuning in from. I give you a shout out on our platform, and I appreciate everybody that's tuning in here in LA, different parts of the country, different parts of the state, and different parts of the world. That's where Laker fans are. They're everywhere. So thank you for being a part of it. We're doing some roll call right now, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. I'll give some shout outs here to some of the places. Simi Valley, thank you for being a part of the show. Anaheim, Norwalk, the Philippines, Taiwan, Washington State, thank you for being a part of the show. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. Vegas, Puerto Rico, Oregon, SoCal, Porter Ranch, Chicago, Redondo. Laker fans are everywhere. Don't you guys want me to tell you? Laker fans are everywhere. Lake Arrowhead. Lake Arrowhead's beautiful. What a great place. Nigeria, Japan, the Philippines, New Jersey, Alberta, Canada. Keep them coming in as the show rolls on. I'll give you guys some shout outs. By the way, quick shout out. We got a partner, Power Pro Plumbing, Heating and Air, who, by the way, has been a partner of Lakers Talk and 710 ESPN for a number of years. Fantastic partner. I mean, when I say fantastic, what I'm referring to there is like literally they support what I'm doing. So I can't tell you how much that means to me to have local businesses that support what I'm doing, because it helps me do things like this. Inglewood, Orlando, King Taco. Of course, King Taco gets a mention. King Taco is not a sponsor, but yet I always got people saying they're at King Taco. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, next topic. Laker fans. Just seeing here. Let me make sure. Oh, improvements. Okay, so improvements. We got into a little bit of the improvements. Got to cut down on the turnovers. And you got to make sure that, you know, when you're up on a team, you don't want to risk anything. You know what I mean? Like, your goal is big picture. England, thank you for tuning in. Iraq, thank you for being a part of the show. When you're a team that's supposed to win an NBA championship, when you're a team that's expected to win an NBA championship, you don't want to freaking screw around. You just don't want to screw around. So when I say improvements, what I'm referring to tomorrow, if you go up big on the Denver Nuggets, you can't let up. Bury this team. Get rid of this team. Get out of the Western Conference Finals. Get in the finals and make those other teams have to figure it out. Hacienda Heights, thank you for being a part of the show. Stockton, California. All of you guys, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Utica, New York. Brazil. Got Laker fans everywhere. And then I did mention the 24 turnovers. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Almost 25 minutes in here. Yeah, keep rolling here. 30 minutes, I'm out. 30 minutes. Sunland, thank you for being a part of the show. Miami, Boston. Let's move on to Miami, Boston. By the way, we did this one time. One time we did this. One time we did story time with Sliwa. I think that's what we called it. I have a story before we end the show. Okay? I got a Lakers story before we end the show. Story time with Sliwa. I didn't call story time with Sliwa. Somebody else called it story time with Sliwa. So I'm just stealing it. All right? If somebody wants, anything for it, you're not getting anything for it. You don't even have any evidence that you came up with that. Okay. Miami, Boston first. Who would you rather play? The Heat or the Celtics? Let me make my case. Let me make my case real quick. I love the comments, by the way. Let me make my case real quick on which team. Okay. So I picked Miami in 6. I think they end up winning the series. What a great series, by the way. You know, for those who are just paying attention to the Western Conference, do me a favor. Go watch the Eastern Conference. That's a good series going on between Miami and the Boston Celtics. It's definitely a good series going on between Miami and Boston. My computer wants me to log back in. so I can start reading the comments again. Let me log back in. Guys, be professional. I know my computer's doing since I'm on my computer. Miami and Boston, that's a good series. It's a really, really good competitive series that's going on between both of those teams, and it shouldn't just be about the Lakers and what they're doing against Denver. So I picked Miami to win in 6. Let's just say it's Lakers and the Heat. Basically, the storylines are Pat Riley versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The storylines are LeBron versus old team. So a lot of good storylines there. I mean, those are storylines that we can run with. And I think Miami is, I think they're a scrappy team. I think the Lakers win the series, but Miami definitely is not going to hand you any games. You got to go grab them from the Miami Heat. All right? That's one of the scenarios, Miami. The other scenario is you play Boston. You can tie the Boston Celtics with championship number 17 this year, and you could do it by beating the Celtics. Okay, that's an amazing storyline. We know the tradition between the teams and the storied franchise, whether it was in the 80s or it was in 09, 010, or 2008 and 2010 when the Lakers lost one and they beat one against the Boston Celtics. That's the last championship that the Lakers have had. Here's the only problem I have with playing the Boston Celtics. You risk losing. I mean, it can happen. I know everybody can say we're the heavy favorites. I get it. I understand it. But things happen in series. Injuries happen. You just never know what can happen. So my fear with playing the Celtics is here you are, a chance if they don't come out of the Eastern Conference, you know that they stay at 17 and you're the only one that has a chance to get number 17 from there. If you play the Boston Celtics, as amazing as it would be to beat Boston and tie them at the same time, you never know what can happen. Maybe you risk Boston getting their 18th championship and you end up at 16. Now, are the Lakers going to be heavy favorites either way? They will be. But I'm still going to go with, I think Miami wins in 6 games, and it's the Lakers versus the Miami Heat. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay? All right, here's what we got here. Let me read some of the comments. Heat extremely dangerous. Somebody's saying nice video production, Sliwa. Let me tell you something. I got nothing to do with the production. I'm just told what to do. They say, Sliwa, do us a favor. Click this link. Type in your name. Sit back and put together a show. And that's all I do. People in the background. We have a team of 60 engineers, maybe 80 at this point. I mean, I can't even tell you how big this thing has become. All right, we got one guy back there. All right, but he's doing a hell of a job. He's doing a hell of a job. By the way, I got somebody who's tuning in on their 3rd shift with UPS out in Ohio. My man, thank you very much for being a part of the show. I appreciate it. Joseph says the Heat are better than the Celtics. Kevin says championships prior to 1776 shouldn't count. Fantastic point. Of course, what Kevin is referring to there, the last championship for the Boston Celtics was in 1776. It's the last championship that the Celtics have had. They haven't had much since the 80s, I'm going to tell you that much. I think they've only had one. Okay. See what we have here. Yeah, not worth it, says Adnan. Yeah, I kind of played out those scenarios. Beating Celtics would be nice, says Sergio. Miami is very scrappy. O.C. O'Neal. So, look, we got everybody. Sai here says Lakers versus Heat would be perfect for us. Only thing is that they make a lot of threes. So it'll be up to us to obviously defend on that side. All right, so Eastern Conference Finals, by the way. So Lakers tomorrow, 4 p.m., pregame show. 6 p.m., tip-off. 5 a.m., Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis will start all their local coverage on 710 ESPN. So we got a lot of stuff going on, but there's the schedule right there, Lakers Nuggets, right? So you know what Game 3 is. Eastern Conference Finals, they took a day off. They played Sunday. What's today? Monday. No, they played Saturday, and they don't have another game until Wednesday. So we got to wait Eastern Conference Finals. This will help both teams kind of catch up. So Lakers Game 3 tomorrow, and then Game 4 for the Eastern Conference Finals will come on Wednesday. Okay, final thing I want to get into before I go to story time with Sliwa. Okay. Prediction tomorrow. You guys got some predictions? Don't worry, I'm not forgetting. Somebody's thinking I'm already forgetting. I'm not forgetting. We got the story. You guys got predictions for tomorrow? Throw me some predictions. Let me give my prediction, and then I'll let you guys go. All right, my prediction tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest. I'm an objective guy. I give praise where it's due, and then I'm also honest with how I feel. Kind of feel like tomorrow's gonna be a tough game. I'm not surprised if Denver squeaks out a win over the Lakers tomorrow. I'm not. I'm really not. I think part of that will have something to do with the Lakers maybe relaxing a little bit, maybe taking their foot off the gas. I'd be more surprised tomorrow if the Lakers come out and blow out the Denver Nuggets. If they do that, I mean, I don't know what else I could ask for from the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think tomorrow's a tough game against the Denver Nuggets. I think it comes down to a couple possessions. Wouldn't be surprised if Denver makes this a 2-1 series. They had yesterday's game. They're coming off some momentum, and the Lakers are in the driver's seat. So we'll see what ends up happening. All right, I got Lakers over the Nuggets, 105-95. Raul Martinez, Eric Nunez, Lakers win by 8, and Celtics lose by 12. Adnan says the Nuggets are tired. Javier on Periscope says the Lakers are sweeping, and Dimitri on Periscope says Lakers by 5. Okay, you guys ready? Story time with Sliwa. Do me a favor. Bring it in a little bit. When we tell a story, maybe go into a room where it's more quiet. You know what I mean? Like if you're there with the family, just let them know, guys, not right now. Sliwa's about to tell a story, and it involves Chick Hearn and Stu Lance. So I got to leave the family. You know what I mean? Throw the fireplace on, get a nice glass of wine. You know what I mean? It's story time. It's story time, guys. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I really don't. All right. Okay. Tell a quick story. So Stu Lance, these comments kill me. Stu Lance came on Lakers Talk. So let me give a little bit of background. There's Stu. I probably get on a couple times a season. I'm very strategic with Stu Lance. I love Stu, man. I mean, like, you know, for me, growing up as a kid, I used to watch and listen to Chick Hearn and Stu Lance. It was Chick and Stu, like freaking Chick and Stu. Like those are the two, right? So I'm extremely appreciative of Stu Lance, who's been the color commentator for the Lakers since 1987. I mean, just think about all the different teams that he's seen over the years, how long he worked with Chick Hearn. I love what he does with Billy Mack and Bill McDonald. Of course, they do it together on Spectrum Sportsnet. But this is the freaking guy that worked with Chick Hearn, like Chick Hearn, the legend of all legends. Okay? So when I was growing up as a kid, and this just made me think of this story because when I brought Stu on tonight, you know, we're talking about this game, and it's just, you know, that's a classic Laker. I mean, that's an OG when it comes to Los Angeles Lakers. So when I was a kid, growing up in San Diego, I know you guys thought I grew up in Denver, but let me let the story out. I didn't grow up in Denver, guys. I know the Nuggets Nation thing we were doing a week ago. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay. All right. We all know. Okay. So I'm growing up in San Diego. So San Diego gets one Laker game a year. They get a preseason game that they would play in San Diego once a year. Now, let me also say, the city that I'm from, not exactly the greatest when it comes to sports, okay? Lakers used to play at the sports arena. Once a year, they'd come down the sports arena and they'd play a preseason game. So I would always go to that preseason game. I tell my parents, we'd get 4 tickets. My sister would come too, all 4 of us, big Laker fans. And my parents who, you know, born and raised in freaking Iraq, come to, you know, the States, and they love the Lakers and they love Chick and Stew. So it's like, guys, they come down once a year. We're going to the freaking Lakers game at Sports Arena, which arguably is the worst arena in all of sports. either in front of or behind Qualcomm Stadium, which is the second worst, and both of them are located in San Diego. That shows you the sports area that I come from. Okay. So every time we'd go down and go see one of these Lakers preseason games, I tell my parents, I'm like, listen, here's the deal. When the game's over, Chick and Stu, both, they got to do this little post-game wrap. 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case is. All we got to do is just hang around for 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the most. We can go freaking say hi to Chick Hearn and Stu Lance. So I tell my parents one time, I asked them, I'm like, 10, 11 years old or whatever the case is. I'm like, guys, we got to do this. We got to make it happen. I think both my parents were basically like, Al, we don't know what the hell kind of kid we raised. Okay, you want to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go say hi to Chick and Stu? We're going to go ahead and wait. Every freaking year, we went down there for a preseason game. My parents would wait. We knew the routine. We'd wait till kind of everybody cleared out. There's Chick and Stu. Right when they finished their post-game broadcast, get a chance to go say hello to Chick, get a chance to go say hi to Stu Lance. Then I was done. I was in cloud nine. Nothing else mattered after that. Got a chance to watch Lakers basketball. They played in San Diego. Quick hello to Chick, quick hello to Stu, and then, I'd call it a night. So when I see Stu Lance, and it kind of takes me back, or when I talk to Stu Lance, kind of takes me back to some of those memories, because what just legends and icons, of course, Chick Hearn is just an icon on his own, but Stu Lance, part of that as well, takes me back to those days. So there is your story time with Sliwa. That's what I have for tonight's show. I appreciate everybody that tunes in, however you're tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. What we're going to have to do from here, Laker fans, is we are going to have to we're going to have to go take care of business tomorrow. Lakers are up 2-0. You got the Denver Nuggets coming in, and we got a chance to really put a wrap on this series, then wait for Miami and Boston and take it from there. Lakers are 6 games away from an NBA championship. Let me go ahead and repeat that. Let me tell you how I got that math. You need 16 games to win an NBA championship. Lakers already got 10. What I did is I took the 16, I subtracted it by the 10, and I got 6. 6 games away from an NBA championship. That's how close the Los Angeles Lakers are to winning an NBA championship. Still got 2 games left to go. Still got tomorrow. Obviously a big game tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. Pre-game show starting at 4 o'clock. Myself, Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson, much more interesting than I am. But tune in. Tune in to 710 ESPN. I appreciate you all being a part of the show. And I thank you all for, taking some time and listening to our broadcast. Back at it tomorrow. Take care of business, Los Angeles Lakers. 2-0 over the Denver Nuggets. Anthony Davis with the game winner. Got to follow up with another win tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, Laker fans.